Hey everybody, what's up? Fred McKinnon here with eComCatalyst. Today, I want to address something that's extremely important for Amazon sellers on this video. Okay, and this is a question that I get from brand new sellers who are interested in selling on Amazon. I get this from prospective clients who are thinking about launching a brand or taking their brand onto Amazon. But I also get this from experienced sellers, and it'd be something you think that they would know, but you'd be shocked how many don't really understand the economics of Amazon fees, and how to know how much money you can make by selling on Amazon, or if you're gonna make any money at all, all right? So before you get all into selling on Amazon, whether you're somebody just getting started or you're an established brand doing 6 to 7 figures a month on Amazon, you need to know your math. You need to know your SKU economics, and you need to have a basic understanding of the fees that you will incur when selling on Amazon. So this is a bit of a tutorial on how to go about doing that, all right? I was just talking to a prospective client the other day. They have a fantastic brand. I mean, an amazing brand. Great packaging, great brand recognition in retail, but they've never sold on Amazon. And I'm really excited about working with them on Amazon. But the problem was, when I began to meet with the owners, their typical product was very small and a very low price point, like, $5 to $6, $7 to $8. And because of the fulfillment fees and the commissions and all the other things that you experience on Amazon, I call it margin erosion. Because of that, I had to tell them, you need to think about how to package more of this product so that you can have a bigger package and charge more for it, because of the math, the way that the math will work. So it's very important to understand what the fees are, okay? So number one, when you sell a product on Amazon, Amazon takes a commission, a sales commission off the top of that item, okay? It varies by category. Some categories are 8%, some categories are 12%, some are 15%. A lot of them, most of them are 15%. Some of them get up to 17% or higher, okay? We're gonna use 15% in this example, okay, because a lot of items are 15%. And so let's say that you sell an item for $10, okay? Well, right off the top, Amazon's gonna take 15%, which would be $1.50, all right? That's gonna leave you with $8.50. So 15% scooped right off the top. Amazon gets that, their sales commission. And again, that percentage is based on the category of the product that's sold in. Not all categories have the same fee structure, but in this video, we're gonna use 15% as an example, all right? Now, after that, you have fulfillment cost. And there's a couple of ways you're gonna have that order fulfilled. Number one, which is the most popular and the way we typically recommend when available, is FBA, fulfilled by Amazon. What that means is that you have taken that product in quantity and you have shipped them into Amazon's warehouses. Okay, so that's a whole nother expense that we haven't even discussed yet, but you have to take your product and ship it into Amazon's warehouses. Okay, it's not a hard process. Amazon makes that pretty easy, but you get your product into Amazon. Now, when that happens, it is FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, and that the advantages of that are it's Prime. Okay, so when a shopper is looking on Amazon, and it might say, in the same way that it'll say sold by Amazon, shipped by Amazon, it might be sold by seller name, shipped by Amazon, have the Prime badge. Okay, so Amazon takes care of pulling that product, picking it in the warehouse, packing it in a box, putting a label on it, the postage, the shipping cost incurred there, all of that to ship it to the customer. It used to be in quote Prime 2 days, but Prime's never 2 days anymore, it seems. But that is the fulfillment cost if you use FBA. Also, in addition to that, if you do have your product stored in an Amazon warehouse, an FBA warehouse, there is a monthly storage fee, warehouse fee per unit. That's usually very, very small, pennies, 10, 15 cents, something like that per unit, sometimes less. All right, so let's back up. You got $10 here, all right? Then we're gonna take out our 15%. So now we're down, and then we're gonna take out the fulfillment cost. It's pretty hard to fulfill anything for less than $3 to $4. So average out, on a small, normal size item, it's kind of probably be somewhere between $4.50 to $6, $7, sometimes $8, something like that. But let's just say $6 for average. And we're just talking about just kind of a normal sized widget that is normal size and probably weighs less than a pound, maybe a little over a pound. All right, so now you have your selling price minus your commission, 15%, minus the fulfillment cost, let's say $6, minus, let's say a nickel per unit per month for storage. All right, all that's come off the top before you have paid what we call COGS, COGS, cost of goods sold. That is your manufactured cost in that product. If you're manufacturing the product, you're a brand owner, or you're private labeling, that's your landed cost of that product. If you're doing drop ship or arbitrage, something like that, what I mean by arbitrage is a lot of people will go to a store, they'll buy something on sale that they can sell for more on Amazon for profit. Arbitrage is the difference between what they bought it for and then what they can sell it for after fees and still have profit in the middle. That's what we call arbitrage. If you go and you buy it and source it from a store, it's called retail arbitrage. If you do it online, it's called online arbitrage. Regardless of all of that, that is your cost of goods sold, whether it's your manufactured landed cost or the cost of purchasing the item that you are reselling. That is COGS, okay? So you take your selling price, subtract the Amazon commission, subtract the fulfillment costs, FBA costs, and then the storage. I forgot to mention that if you're not utilizing FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, then you, the seller, are responsible to ship that product. That means that you're connected maybe to ShipStation software, or you're buying postage from Amazon and shipping it yourself, or maybe you're using a 3PL, a third-party logistics company, to ship it for you. Either way, that is FBM, fulfilled by merchant, and that shipping cost is accounted for. So I kind of got that out of order, but we had the selling price minus the commission minus the fulfillment cost, okay? And the fulfillment cost is either going to be FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, their fee, and then whatever little amount they charge you to store that unit in their warehouse, or FBM, fulfilled by merchant, which means you're responsible. And that, again, that means you're actually going out to your warehouse, or your garage, or your bedroom, or bonus room, or however it is, and generating postage and shipping that, all right? Either yourself or a third party doing that for you, okay? That's fulfilled by merchant. Whatever that cost is your fulfillment cost. We subtract all of that in there, and then we subtract our COGS, cost of goods sold, all right? And then that leaves us with our profit, okay? I like to call it our gross profit and the percentage of what our profit margin is. Now, here's where it gets tricky. If you are arbitraging, drop shipping, reselling brand name items that are already very popular on Amazon or any other marketplace for that matter, that already have traffic, already have lots of sales and velocity, then you don't have to worry about marketing. If you're a brand owner, private labeler, then you've got to somehow get traffic onto that listing. And part of that typically involves marketing. Typically the marketing is PPC, pay per click advertising within the Amazon ads network. And you need to have margin for that, okay? And that's where I tell clients, prospective sellers, that your gross margin, which again, we calculated that a moment ago, selling price minus the commission, minus whatever your fulfillment cost is, minus your COGS, cost of goods sold, whatever that gross margin is, if you need to be able to spend money on marketing, that gross margin should be, in my opinion, at least 30%, because you're gonna need 30% to allocate for marketing. All right, let me walk you through an example of that here on my computer screen. Now, Amazon has a really cool feature called their revenue calculator. On this YouTube video, in the show notes, I will drop a link to this revenue calculator. Typically, you need to be logged in as a seller, but you can also access it as a guest, okay? And it's really cool. And this will give us a bird's eye view of what these fees kind of look like with a sample product. And earlier today, I was actually shopping on Amazon for some new tennis shoes. This is actually not the tennis shoes that I bought, but I was looking at various Saucony shoes, and I still had this tab open. So we're gonna use this ASIN here on here. here. So if I come up into my browser, I can copy the ASIN, which is Amazon's catalog number. It always starts with B0, okay? So I'm gonna copy the ASIN, and I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna copy and paste that ASIN into Amazon's revenue calculator and hit search like so. Right now, when I do this, it's trying to make me log in. We don't want to log in. That's not necessary. Okay. When I do this, it gives me some basic data about this listing, but we have our selling price at $54, item price, and then the referral fee, $8.10. Referral fee is what I was referring to as the category commission earlier. And we can actually expand that a little bit. I guess I can't because I'm not logged in. A lot of times you can click on that to get better detail. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I am going to hit pause on the video and I'm actually going to log in so maybe we can see more details. Stand by. Okay, it worked. I logged in and now as you can see the referral fee is something that I can click on and expand. And when I do that, the fee category is in footwear, which is 15%. So 15% of the selling price, 54, is $8.10. All right, so that's how we got that. And then if we scroll down, we see the fulfillment cost is $7.25. Again, I can click this to see the detail. At the fulfillment, the FBA fulfillment cost is based on the product size here. This one is large standard. They give you the dimensions. It's about 5 pounds. In shipping weight and so forth. So that's how they're giving us here the $7.25 for the fulfillment fee. All right, we're gonna skip over the service add-ons. We're not using those. And then there's a 30 cents per unit per month storage cost. That is based on the fact that this shoebox takes up 0.381 cubic feet. And during the month of January through September, which is not peak months, that storage fee is 30 cents. Now, when you get into Q4, the storage fee triples to 91 cents, all right? So now we also have some inbounding cost of 68 cents. They're averaging this based on what we call inbound placement fees. If you don't know about those, I've talked about them tons on this channel, and we'll leave that in place. There are ways to get around this inbound placement fee, but for now, we're gonna keep that okay. So here we are at a selling price of $54. We see there's an $8.10 commission. That's 15% of the selling price. There's a $7.25 fulfillment fee right here. And then there is a 30 cents storage cost. And then on a little further down, we see, let's see here, a 68 cents per unit inbound cost. And I won't get into that on this video, but that's the fee they charge you per unit if you just send it to one location, which is much easier for you and costs less in shipping. Now, if you were to ship all these shoes in the same kind of quantities to 5 different Amazon warehouses spread out all across the country, then you would not pay that 68 cents. That's called Amazon Optimized Shipment Splits. Talked a lot about that. Most people watching this channel understand this. There is a way around that, but you're a typical person who's maybe flipping tennis shoes would not be able to do that. Okay, so all of that to say, we have a total cost of $16.33 per unit, just selling it without even subtracting what our cost is. All right, so as you can see, we're at a $37.67 profit margin, profit, or 69.77% margin. Sounds pretty good, right? Except we forgot one very important thing, and that is COGS, cost of goods sold, what it actually costs for that product. All right, in this example, let's say that you're not the manufacturer, you're not Saucony, you're just somebody who buys shoes and resells them on Amazon. You're trying to make some extra money, okay? You're flipping them, you're reselling them, replenishing them, whatever verbiage you want to use in e-commerce world. But let's just say that you buy these shoes on clearance somewhere at Academy Sports for $40. Well, then if you sell it at $56.33, you're going to lose $2.33. So you would have to begin raising that selling price higher and higher to $59. Now we're making $1.92, a margin of 3.26. which if all you're doing is flipping it and you're not spending any money in marketing, you might could get away with that. But as I was saying, I like to see a margin down here on, they call it the net margin. I like to call it gross margin, after COGS. There's ways to refer to all of these. Nevertheless, I like to see this margin amount be at least 30% or higher if I'm going to do marketing. And so, for example, when I was talking to the client earlier, the prospective client, and they're in the food space, and they have a food product in a package that's like, let's say it's an 8-ounce package, and everybody else is selling that 8-ounce package, similar type of product, for $7 or $8, right? Well, it's gonna, half of the $7 or $8 is going to fulfillment costs. So already your margin is squashed way down below 50% when you haven't even factored in the cost of manufacturing the food product that's going in there. So that wasn't gonna work. So in a case like that, we're like, you need to sell like a box or a bundle of 3 8-ounce packages, or better yet, make a 2-pound package. And that 2-pound package that you can sell for, let's say $24, it only costs maybe $1 more to fulfill. Very, very little difference in the cost of fulfilling it. And your cost of goods sold factors in, then you've got like, let's say a 40% net margin there. That gives you space to advertise. Now, why do I say 30%? I say 30% because, and this might go over your head if you're not into Amazon and advertising and that kind of thing. But when we run ads on Amazon, every campaign has this metric called ACOS, advertising cost of sale, ACOS, advertising cost of sale. Okay, now that is calculated by taking the amount of money that you've spent on ads and dividing it into the sales that are attributed to those ads. Not your total sales, but just the sales that are the result of the ads, like return on ad spend. Okay. And in my experience, managing dozens and dozens of accounts in my own and doing over 100 million in revenue on Amazon and marketplaces, in my experience, the average ACOS in Amazon advertising is around 30%. Now, some of you are going to watch that and go, man, you don't know what you're doing. I can do it for 12% or 15%. Yeah, you can. And we have lots of campaigns that are below 10% ACOS, which that's awesome. In other words, like if I have a 10% ACOS, that's like for every $10 I spend, I'm generating $100 in attributed sales. Wonderful, right? So 30% would mean every $30 you're spending, you're generating $100 in attributed sales. All right. But sometimes there are strategies that we will use for ranking, for top of search coverage, that we want to get more exposure, and those cost more. Those campaigns are inflated. Their ACOS is inflated. So I like to use 30% as an average, okay, to average. That way I know that if after Amazon commission, referral fee, after storage fees, after fulfillment cost, after cost of goods sold, COGS, if you have a 30% margin there, I know that as long as my advertising campaigns are averaged at 30% ACOS or less, then you're still making money on your attributed sales, which is very important. All right. In direct to consumer, where you're actually driving traffic from Google or Meta, Facebook example, into your Shopify store, a lot of times it's hard to be profitable on that first transaction. You're counting on repeat revenue or upsells. Okay. On Amazon, we really try our very best that even the sales that are a result of ads, which we call attributed sales, are profitable, okay? We want to know what the margin is. So all of that to say, it's the formula that you use, okay? It depends. How much money do I need to make money on Amazon? How do I know if I'm going to make money on Amazon? Well, number one, you first have to look at what is my purpose here? Am I a brand owner? Am I manufacturing, creating private labeling product that I have to market to get exposure to be found? Or am I just flipping? Am I just reselling something that's already wildly popular that has tons of national brand exposure and I don't need to spend any money on marketing, okay? Well, you have to answer that first. And if you're gonna need marketing, then I like to say that you need to have 30% or better margin after your COGS, cost of goods sold, to make money. All right, I hope this is helpful. There's one software that I would love to share with you that I talk about from time to time. We have an affiliate link, a referral link that'll be in the YouTube video, and it's called SellerBoard. I feel like SellerBoard is probably about the most important SaaS tool that any Amazon seller should have. Because of that reason, it tracks your profitability. You upload your COGS for your products, and it tracks the commissions, the referral fees, all the fees. If you're advertising, it tracks that. It tracks everything, and it lets you know all the way down to the individual item how much money you're making or how much money you're losing. I cannot tell you how many consults I have done with clients who are losing money and they don't even realize it, because maybe they're making money in other places and they feel like they should be making more, and what they found out is a whole lot of stuff they're selling they're losing money on, okay, because they're not paying attention to their numbers. All right, if you are an Amazon seller, you should get SellerBoard. Now, yes, full transparency, I have a referral link for SellerBoard. I'll get like a cup of coffee if you use my link to sign up for it. You get 2 free months. This video is not endorsed by or created by SellerBoard, nothing like that. I'm just sharing a resource that I use that I think is very important. Check it out. There's a 2-month free trial when you use our agency link on SellerBoard. But hey, I hope that helps. A lot of you are so far beyond this and you don't need this video. You know, everything here you already know, but some of you are just getting started and some of you are asking these questions, and I would love to hear from you. Okay, so if this was helpful, will you please leave a comment on this channel? And of course, as always, hit that subscribe button, subscribe and let me know. I'd love to hear from you. I try to answer every comment that I can. It's not spam. So jump in there and ask your questions. If you need help, you can always come to eComCatalyst.com and schedule a consultation as well. Hey, thanks a lot for watching.